Perfect.
Thank you for
Uh,
your flexibility in this. I know we had to change here and there, so we appreciate your flexibility in this for sure.
that's
And
fine.
happy we could get all of us together on one call and discuss all of the the UGC topic that we said we'll do. And
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yes, I love that topic, and I think it's user-generated content are some of the most underrated things in the marketing world, and I'm always happy to talk about the same. So yeah, you go first. Like, what's your story, guys? Like, you guys primarily deal with UGC. So, how did you come across this, and what are your views about UGC? Do you have any results?
Yeah, absolutely. I think probably the best way to start talking about UGC from our perspective would be to share the story of how we got about it initially. So, Dan and I, first of all, we were high school buddies, so we've known each other for quite a while.
We're sitting actually exactly like this during high school,
Yeah.
the same bench.
Right.
Yeah,
Not rare. And we started kind of working on e-commerce around 2017, early 2017. And in the beginning, it was a very simple concept of doing drop shipping. So, back in the day, it was find a product on AliExpress and then build a website and put on some Facebook ads and some trial and error, and it's supposed to work. And we've definitely tried 5, 6, 7, 8 products in the beginning until one of them really hit, and then we kind of scaled it up to further products and more stores. And we came across UGC somewhere around 2018, maybe late 2018, when we first started really suffering from ad fatigue. So if in the good days when we were using classic commercials, so to speak, on Facebook, we were seeing $10 CPA. Back in the day, it was possible. And then there's some seeing bad fatigue. We were looking at $25, $30, $35, and we're like, oh shit, this is becoming a non-profitable business. We need to think of something, how to fix our creatives. And at first we started reaching out to our existing customers and the ones who really liked our product. And we told them, hey, how would you like to work with us? We'll send you a bunch of free stuff and you'll just make a video with our products. And we've got amazing response, and people started creating videos for us and posting them onto their YouTube channels. And later on, we were talking to YouTubers and not only our customers. And later on that, we were talking to TikTokers to make TikToks for our products. And kind of fast forward from the moment we began into early 2021, we've sold the business after having over 200,000 customers, registered trademarks in the US and the UK. Our governments have approved sale in like the state of California, warehouse in China, supply chain. We've been to like England and China visiting the factory. So a lot of stuff had happened thanks to the power of UGC that kind of established the social proof. So kind of to wrap everything up, we've now sold our business and we're in this intersection deciding what we should do. Should we start another brand? Should we consult? Should we do this? Should we do that? And a lot of people who've heard the story of what, and kind of what's the word? Accompanied us throughout this journey, told us, hey, the stuff that you've done with UGC and customers is pretty amazing. You should sell that as a business. And Oded and I talked, and that's what we did. And we started Bambassadors less than a year ago. And in essence, we're helping brands get that UGC from YouTubers, TikTokers, or any other content creators. And we've onboarded 50 brands since we started, over 50
Awesome.
brands. Yeah,
Awesome.
so that's it. I wouldn't say even in a nutshell.
That is awesome. That is so super cool, super cool. You know what? Like my first interaction with UGC went like this, okay? And I face a very similar situation like yours. My ads used to look like ads. You know what I mean, right? When ads start to look like ads, people don't click because nobody wants to get sold to. And this used to happen, right? I won't say like I never calculate in terms of dollars. I usually see if like in terms of percentage for for my business to run profitably, I see like if 20% of the product price goes to CPA, I don't mind. But when it starts to rise to 40%, 50%, and there are operations cost, and it just goes out of control, and that started happening. And that's when like I didn't know what to do, like where to go, who should I follow. That time I was reading this book. It's called 12 Months to 1 Million. You should read it by Rand Moran. And there was one line in there. He said, like, make your customers the hero of your journey. I was like, wow, this is super simple. So I just called up some of the guys and I was like, hey, how did you like my product? It's like, oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty sturdy and I love it. I mean, we don't have to find a replacement. Normally we would, the thing would break and that would happen. So I said like, hey, would you mind giving us a video feedback and I'll, give you a 50% discount on the next purchase, or like I'll give you a 50% cash back, something like that. And the lady who purchased, she gave a video review and I gave her like whatever she paid for the product. I like paid her 50% of it and she was super happy. Like, hey, I got my cash back. Okay. Like I got a great deal and all that. And I asked her permission. I asked her like, can I run ads on it? And she's like, oh, super cool. Like as long as like nobody bothers me, I'm fine. And that's where I like found that's the difference between influencers and normal people, right? Normal people, they don't care. I mean, okay, you use my video. Like I love giving you feedback. But when it comes to influencers, I tried doing this with influencers and they're like, oh no, our face is our brand. You can't run ads on my face. I need royalty if you are using my face.
Right.
Having like 1 million followers on Instagram, I can't let you run ads. I mean, if you are running ads, I need some commissions on sales and everything.
Right.
And I felt like, that's not really worth it. I mean, who would take all those legal headaches? So I felt like this is much better. And ads started performing better than when I used the influencer's face in there.
Well,
So
yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty much the story of what we did and the story behind the Bambassadors in a nutshell. Yeah, for sure.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Cool. Did you guys see any difference between like uh, let's say for example, like in my example, I just told you like influencers. It was difficult working with influencers, but have you ever ran ads on like established influencers? Using them as your creative versus users as your creative. Did you see any kind of difference between the both? Did you ever test that?
So I don't think we actually put like an A/B test kind of thing, running Facebook ads or Instagram ads or whatever, like this one versus the other. However, we did have some experience working with influencers. We were running at some point like 4 different brands, 4 different stores, like one Shopify, one Wix, one like different brands, essentially. So one was a men fashion brand. So for this one, we actually allocated like some substantial budget, right? So like I don't know, like it wasn't in the tens of thousands of dollars, but it was definitely somewhere near $10,000. And we like started scouting for a lot of influencers on Instagram. And I'm sure many had this very similar experience, right? Like you reach out to a lot of different influencers, some get back to you, some give you some ridiculous, figures for posting something or like just for endorsing your product. And then, like you said, there's so many like, different items within their pricing, right? Like you can run ads for 30 days, you can do this, you can like many different restrictions, limitations, all sort of stuff. And, we don't like to kind of be bothered with this, to be in a mindset where we need to kind of, take into account a lot of different factors when we run ads or when we want to expand or scale up, and then we need to reach out to somebody, then possibly they'll get back to us and
Yeah.
approve this. I mean, it's not reliable, at least not for us. So even if they post on their channel, right, like we saw some engagement, but we can't really say we can't really attach a lot of sales to those posts that we tested back in the day. It was like 2020, 2019, or like late 2019 and early 2020. And yes, so our experience with influence marketing, I mean, it was good for like social proof, right? So we were like, putting some like screenshots on the website or like, just linked or embedded some of those posts that those influencers, like higher profile type influencers on Instagram, were posting. So people would land on the website, they'll see, oh, they have this guy with 1 million followers, and he talked about their brand, just to kind of provide some social proof for a very relatively new brand. But just for that, I think it was, doing its job. But otherwise, if you really look into the direct sales or the freedom it gave you, or like value for money, it wasn't there. So at some point we just kind of, it hit us that we need to focus solely on UGC creation, whether through creator marketing, like paid creators, or through past customers, or just doing what we call today product seeding, which is sending free product in exchange for videos. In your case, it was even not the free product. You actually covered the cost of goods with the 50%. So that's amazing. I know a lot of people, they're actually making a lot of sales, taking the same kind of approach. They're promising like, hey, you just pay for shipping, and we'd love to give you the product for free if you send us a video. So like they don't lose for cost of goods. They're just like covering the cost of goods, and they're getting free videos, which is crazy. So if you get, if your product is appealing enough, and I guess your product was, because otherwise she wouldn't approve it, she wouldn't go for it. But if your product is appealing enough, if it's trendy, if the ticket price is a little higher, like not a $20 product, right, like a $50 or $70 or $100 product, then you possibly might do this. And this is amazing. It's working time after time for our own brands, for the over 50 brands we already onboarded. We now can say with much confidence, at the beginning, right, like there was like, I don't know, a few brands, we didn't know, we weren't sure, we did this for our own, it was working, but I don't know what will happen. So we charge just like, I don't know, a few $100 just to cover the very minimal fee that, in order to run those campaigns for them, just so we won't lose money for running those campaigns for them. And we weren't sure, but like, after 1 brand, 2 brands, 10 brands, 20 brands, you get this confidence that you know what you're doing, and it's working across different verticals, different countries. So now we actually onboarded even B2B businesses,
Nice.
software companies. So it's not just like, we way past this, e-com box, I would say. So it's like D2C, mobile application, software, B2B. Anybody nowadays needs some UGC, either for their ads, social media, websites, some social proof, even email marketing. You're strong on email marketing. That if someone just sees another person just like them in the email, and they see this picture or video, it's far more likely to engage with them, compared to just simple text or something like that, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, awesome. So as you mentioned that it works for B2B as well, but how do you collect those? Like when it comes to, let's say, B2B sectors, you have to, the content should come from their own customers, right? Do you reach out to their customers, or like how do you do that UGC in terms of B2B industries?
So I think we did one that we reached out to customers, right? But was it B2B though? I don't know.
No, it's actually B2C.
But yeah, we'll focus more on reaching out to like public figures in the in the sphere. So for example, let's say it's I don't know, like a D2C, but has B2B, but has some mass appeal. So for example, if it would be, I don't know, like Wix stores or Shopify, right? So so there's like this big crowd that is talking about this on YouTube and TikTok, and there's so many people who would love to. They're using those products anyway, so they'll love to to endorse them, to give it a try. So we don't really need their customer base essentially in order to launch this sort of campaign, right? We haven't done much B2B, maybe like 2 or 3 different clients so far. We had some discussions with others, but haven't launched any campaigns around those as well yet. But yeah, so we'll just, like, if it's if it's too niche, then would possibly pass, just because of our confidence in providing true value and be very efficient with doing what we're doing for them. because with those very niche products that are B2B, then it might be a little more complicated and need a little more attention. So yeah, but if it's like mass appeal, like those products that I just mentioned, and there's big crowd and there's a lot of people talking about it on YouTube and TikTok, then it's doable just like any other D2C company.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely. When it comes to mass appeal, it kind of works. And what I see is like, I think in one sector you need both. You need an influencer, and you also need regular people like you and me using the product. Because the psychology that I see is like imagine some Hollywood actor, I don't know, let's say Tom Cruise comes in and suggests you this pen. I mean, that's a great credibility factor that builds the authority of the company. It's a big company, it's a trustworthy company, so it shows that. But when that attracts the customers, that's great. But what makes them buy is like people like you and me, like showing them, hey, I'm using this pen. It's like a really fluid pen. I can easily write stuff, and it's good for my exams or whatever. So that's much better. So if I have to compare influencer marketing versus UGC, I would say like both of them have their own benefits and pros and cons. So anything that you have personally noticed, like when you work with brands, do you see any rise or fall in revenue when it comes to UGC? I mean, of course, there is no fall in revenue after adding UGC, but have you noticed any rise in revenue when you worked with brands and when you onboarded some such content? And did you see any changes in their sales and anything?
I'd love to share like a case study that we saw.
Absolutely, perfect.
One of the brands that we work with is called Sensibo. And Sensibo sells a bunch of stuff like in the smart home realm. And one of the products is an air purifier. So an air purifier, it's a great product, especially these days, or like 2 years ago as COVID outbreak started, and people were like, oh, viruses and pollution in many, many different cities. So it's a trendy product, especially if you can kind of activate it from your phone. And I would say there's probably over a dozen brands marketing air purifiers, and it's a hard sell, right? So imagine you're scrolling down your feed, you're one of those people who are prone to allergies, for example. And what we've done with them is basically a massive product CD campaign. So we've reached out to a few hundred different creators on YouTube and on TikTok. And we told them, we reached out to them by finding the relevant personas, so people who talk about allergies, people who talk about healthy well-being and all that. And we reached out to everyone, invited them to join the brand ambassador program. We've onboarded probably like 60, 70 content creators to hand raise, right? So they would get the product for free, and then they post a video on their channel. And within weeks, we started seeing first videos, and then like over a dozen videos. And by now they're probably, I don't know, nearly 100 videos since we started working in different formats that we edited. And what we did is we mashed those videos into one kind of highlight reel with different variation, and it was used as Facebook ads. And Sensibo reported a 50% increase in ROAS, which is amazing.
Oh, wow. That's
so
cool.
Basically, I think that those small creators make a bigger impact than those influencers. So especially these days, TikTok is pushing the For You feed, which means basically that you are discovering people that you never saw before and that you are likely to follow. So I think that people are more prone to be exposed to unfamiliar faces rather than the people that they actually know, and they're open to discovering new people. So I think that making that hook in marketing, those first 2-3 seconds, is the key to grab the people's attention. And content creators, even the small ones, are experts at doing it. That's what they do every day. They try to grab people's attention, and then giving those, the classic marketing benefits, the why you should buy it and how it helped me, and kind of convey that emotional message. And then obviously with the call to action, and that's exactly what we do. We
Absolutely.
try to get those small creators to make those perfect videos for us, match them, send it to our video editors, and turn them into amazing TikTok and Facebook ads.
Just to kind of add on everything that Dan said, so with those with this method called product seeding, or at least the way we call it product seeding, is like if you do this long enough, if you do this repeatedly, month after the month, and you send in free product to relevant creators, and you do this in a very laser targeted way, as we are doing this on TikTok and YouTube, just like Dan said, it's air purifier, so we'll be looking for allergic people who are talking about allergy, asthma, just fresh air, whatever it may be. So if you're doing this way, like, okay, you may not get to hit this bonanza video or like bonanza post that will generate like this 50% increase in ROAS in ads, or those millions of views on TikTok or YouTube. However, if you do this long enough, like maybe not the first 10, first 20, but at some point, like 30, 40, 50 videos later, you'll get to at least one great video either on TikTok or YouTube that catches fire and just has this very big reach and very positive ROAS on Facebook ads. And also you can do all these compilations, as Dan said. We're doing this all the time for our clients, and this this is proven to be a great way to run ads, just to create these compilations of ads. So here's a great tip for your audience. If you guys don't run any compilation ads, then definitely do this. Just take your customers or creators, just have them talk about your product. By the way, sometimes they actually know or like they come up with very interesting angles about your product that you didn't even think about. So it's really great to give them creative freedom. Just have your customers talk about your product, or like creators talk about your product. And then, by the way, creators that might be your customers otherwise, right? Like they need to look like customers, sound like customers. Like just find the relevant persona that works for you, and have them create the videos for you, and then create this mashup of, or like compilation of different reviews, and wrap this up in a beautiful looking ad with a great hook, and just throw it in TikTok ads, Facebook ads, obviously including Instagram, Reels, stories, whatever. So yeah, and just to kind of give you some kind of a teaser. So yes, some of those brands, they're hitting really massive reaches. For example, this Sensible brand that we did this campaign for. So they had one video already reaching
27 million views on TikTok organically.
And that's just product seeding, right? So this guy, his name is Enrique the Magician. He's doing like magic tricks with cards. So he's done this one magic trick that he puts the card that you think about right on top of the Sensible air purifier. And this video just hit 27 million already views and counting. And then they used it as an ad on TikTok ads. And that's also proving great results as well. So, and we just got another one, right? Like maybe just
so many random videos. Not random, if you do it long enough, there will be viral videos, and it will make up for all the non-viral videos, not taking into account the ads that you get that you can use.
By the way, I think that's the hardest part for new beginners, like brands that haven't done any UGC activity, or like.
It's not very difficult, I would say. I mean, come on, like any brand who is starting, even if they get 10 sales a day, okay, we're not looking at very ambitious number, like 10 sales a day, that's 300 sales in a month. Imagine if they can like just call each and every customer and be like, hey bro, can you just bear a little bit of loss, like let's say 50% cashback, cover the cost of goods. I mean, if you're starting a brand, you should be comfortable running in loss for at least 2 to 3 months, right? I mean, that's how you build it. And if anyone can do that, then I mean, I think it's nothing like it. Like if you can get 30 videos in a month, that's like awesome.
Yeah.
In 3 months, you have 100 videos.
Brands, the funnel is very simple, and it's been like that for years. Google has a huge factor in product consideration. So people see a Facebook ad, a TikTok ad, They remember the name, they go to Google, they type it, they go to YouTube, they type brand reviews. And if you're not there, that's a big problem, I would say. And
Yeah.
brands should invest in having real people post real videos, obviously, on their YouTube channels and on their social media, so that when they're Googled, they're there.
Especially for electronic products, right? Like if you're selling, let's say, headset or like a microphone, or any electronic product, like if you're not on YouTube already, by the way, very soon also on TikTok, because Google has already started indexing TikTok as well. So if you're not in there already, if people would search, and they will search for you. I mean, even myself, like when I'm buying a new headset, I'm always Googling the type of, like, what's
Absolutely.
the top 5 Bluetooth earbuds for 100-200 bucks, right? So
Yeah.
it's I think for electronics it's a must-have. For all the others, I would definitely gather some UGC content for sure. Like, I think nowadays anybody really needs this, but for electronics you really need to be everywhere and really get this thing done for your brand. Otherwise, you won't be relevant for any longer.
Absolutely, 100%. So short videos are something that everyone is using. You know what? Like I saw one brand recently, I just can't remember the name, but they have used their users' videos so efficiently. I mean, they are definitely running ads on those videos, but what they have done is, like, if you go to the landing page, like the product page where all the product descriptions are there, there are review section, like all the star ratings or whatever. But just after the review section, they named it like a wall of love. So it was all filled with like the UGC videos. You can just keep scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. You'll see hundreds and hundreds of video in that one landing page.
Massive
And
social proof right there. Yeah.
massive, like you just can't say no to that product after looking at those, right?
Right.
I mean, when you see 100 people right in front of your eyes, I mean, imagine 100 people in one place. That's like one, I don't know, a stadium room full of people, a hall full of people telling you just one thing: hey, this product is awesome. Nobody's going to deny that.
Right.
No need to watch the videos, just knowing that so many
Right.
people are talking about it. That's enough
Yeah.
social for the majority of potential customers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would definitely point out like two very important things for especially those new brand owners, because we have so many discussions with new brand owners. So they just launched the brand recently, or they haven't done any UGC activity before. And I think when we're talking with them, it's always like we need to educate them, like how important it is to create your UGC and put it out there on the website, social media, even to use it in your ads, because or in email marketing, because and also do this if it's on the website, so throughout the funnel, right, on your cover page, on your home page, on your product page, like everywhere really, even on the thank you page. Because again, like, people don't believe like those 5 stars rated 10,000 times anymore, right? Like it's obsolete. So if you show them those text reviews with the 5 stars, like, there's so many I wouldn't say scammy methods out there, but like, it's I mean, it's not as real as people talking about your product on video. And I think all those review apps will very soon pick this up as well, and they start to support video formats as well, because I think not in a so distant future, it will definitely change and transform
It's
into
already
video.
happening. I mean, if you go to Amazon nowadays, even in Amazon reviews, so if a user has posted a photograph, or if some user has posted a video of that particular product talking about it, you will see in Amazon reviews, those are the kind of things that will get ranked higher than any other text-based.
It
Because
prioritize video
yeah,
reviews. Sure.
I
Amazon also
myself, I'll
knows.
always check those videos or photos on Amazon instead of
Yep.
all this text. I mean, text comes later, or if it's a new product, then I'll check the text if it's the only thing there. But primarily, like, first thing I'll look at is those images and videos. For sure.
Absolutely. And that's exactly, I mean, the biggest e-commerce giant in the world is telling us the same thing. So let's just follow it. I mean, we know that this works.
Right.
So
Yeah. For
awesome.
sure.
Awesome. So, yeah, one final question before we end the call. Like, what do you see, when you talked about, like, let's say, mass market SaaS product and in some B2B product, when it comes to B2B product, I mean, because I'm kind of interested in that now. But in this, when it comes to a B2B industry, they don't need a lot of, they don't have a lot of people. Like, let's say it's not a mass market thing, right? But still, there are some B2B companies which are kind of popular yet still not popular, or like you can say like WordPress is very popular, but WordPress themes may not be that popular. Like you get it, right? Like Shopify is very popular, but some of the Shopify themes may not be popular. So in that case, I mean, how do you see UGC videos working for B2B brands? So, you know, if you can imagine that, or how do you see it?
So I think it would be, you'd need to find a more targeted persona for every product. So for example, for every niche, there is probably a lot of content creators. So on our end, what we do is we've developed a method into really digging into TikTok hashtag-based videos. So let's say WordPress. You said WordPress. We'd find videos and creators who posted about WordPress, and we'd list them. And we have a team of creator hunters. That's what we call them. And we'd reach out to those creators and we tell them, hey, we are looking to make videos about WordPress. Let's brainstorm. And basically the process from there on is that we give out a creative brief, meaning that they have guidelines on how to create the video. And then creators can just be themselves and make that hook, benefits, call to action type of video, just demonstrating the product. So for example, I'm sure that, you know, if you're using WordPress or using some sort of app, like a payments app, for example, they'd say like, hey, let's say a payments app, well, B2B solution payments, right? Are you having trouble paying your contractors and bank wires are, you know, giving you trouble? No problem. I just started using whatever, and they give out the benefits, like download the app now. And I think that today, especially, there's no need to even sometimes, right, find that special dedicated person who is into B2B, but rather find this presenter that would convey the marketing messages of the B2B brand. And we've seen that happen on TV ads in the past. So you don't have to.
I have one example, because when you're mentioning that, there is this company, right? Have you heard of this guy, Jarvis AI or Jasper AI? There was this AI, right?
Guy who does AI marketing, copywriting.
Yeah, right. Because a couple of months ago, I saw only UGC ad, like users telling like, "Hey, dude, this AI just wrote a joke." You know, people going crazy over that, and that was the reason why I bought that product. Like, I took a free trial and I checked it out, how good or bad it is, and yeah, I can definitely see that happening. I mean, of course, why not? It can work, 100%.
Yeah, it goes down to that discovery openness to seeing people that you don't know telling you about something, and if they're doing it in an interesting method that sparks your emotion, if it's laughter, if it's excitement, if it's interest, like, you know, to try to thrill you into seeing the ad, it can work, and it's definitely worth a shot, and it can be way more cost effective. So influencers are very important, and you should always keep in mind that you should work with influencers. But, you know, our expertise is obviously those creators who actually, not those 1 million, 3 million, whatever followers on their social media platforms, but rather those small to medium ones who are great at making content, that have that sweet spot of budget versus performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So any final words about this whole topic, about your company, Dan, Oded? I would love to hear from you.
Well, I just want to mention that I guess all of your viewers are like their brand is Amazon centric, right? Like they're selling out of Amazon only. They don't have any Shopify store, like WordPress store, whatever.
We do have students who are like, students are selling in both places. They are selling in Amazon.
Yeah.
They have their own Shopify stores as well.
Yes, so a lot of Amazon sellers, they're not looking outside of Amazon as much, right? They'll be just creating those very initial photography, creative and stuff like that, and they'll just launch all these Amazon ads and that's it. So what we're seeing with our brand, with our clients, with our partner brands lately is they'll take this UGC, they'll run it on Amazon ads, but they'll also use it as the enhanced brand content. They'll also use it, they might just run ads on TikTok to attract people into their listing on Amazon or like their storefront or something like that. Because as you know, Amazon, opened its gates lately for outside traffic, especially with the Amazon attribution and everything that is going on. So it's very important to all those, like very passive Amazon sellers to kind of wake up and understand the new economy and the new way of doing marketing these days. Because I'm talking with so many Amazon brands lately, and they don't really know anything about it. And it's like a no-brainer. Like just like if you, I don't know, allocate a few $1,000s every month, or like tens of thousands of dollars every month for Amazon ads and other stuff, and you already spend a lot of your budget on photography, then why not just take this very small percentage, like $1,000, like $5,000, a one-time thing, just give it a go, right? Like just see what it does. And we at Bambassadors, we're also running TikTok ads, and we've done this for ourselves as well in the past, and we're working closely with the TikTok team as a certified agency, and obviously would love to help you guys. Even if you're not working with us, just reach out and let us know, and let's have a discussion about your brand. But also just kind of get outside of your Amazon box and try new things and see how it works, because the Amazon, like the way you're doing marketing these past 5 or 6 years, it's not necessarily the way it's going to work in the next year or so, right? So so yeah, and TikTok is booming and it's blowing. It's still quite early. So if everybody is talking about how Facebook has become so saturated these days, and the CPAs are in the
hundreds.
Yeah, like it's just overvalued or like overpriced. Then TikTok is still in its early stages, and why not exploit it and use it for your brand and your marketing, and be there in the, like, not first because it's a little too late to be first there, but like at least not be the last. So get on the TikTok train, because it's already left the station, that's for sure. But yeah, also YouTube, obviously. I know in India there's TikTok is banned, but it doesn't really mean that even India based brand, and even if your audience is just based in India, it doesn't really mean that you don't need to do UGC, right? There's Chingari, and there's YouTube, and there's so much going on there. And people still need social proof. I mean, people are people, right? It doesn't matter which app they're using on a daily basis. So so always be minded that UGC is the new, like, authenticity is the new currency. It's the new marketing. So just, get some action on that front, and definitely reach out if you have any questions. Would love to help. We are always having open discussions with all the brands that we're talking with, regardless if they work with us or not.
Awesome. Thank you, Adit. Thank you, Dan. That was perfect. Thank you very much. Talk to you
so
again.
much.
Let's talk more about UGC some other day as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're always available to do that.